So for the next couple of models, we need to understand a couple of terms so that they make sense. And this is going to be this idea of incremental versus iterative. And incremental and iterative are pretty similar, except that they have a sort of different way of having the end product. And what we mean by this is that they both advance and move forward to the final goal by building onto an original product. So there's something that we started with and we're building onto it. However, with incremental, we're building over time. Think of like an assembly line where we're never getting to the final product until we're at the final product. And then iterative, where we actually build mini final products and keep making new ones that are slightly closer to our final product, but that almost fully function. So let's go over the two here a little bit more in depth. So again, our first one is incremental, build steps over time, assembly line. We have, we start off with a car and it starts with like a frame and then it moves to, the outer side and the interior and then maybe the engine, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe we're talking about building a computer. So we start off with, the case, and then the next step, we send it to the people who put in the motherboard. So we have a little motherboard in there. And then the next step, we send it to the people who are going to put the CPU in. So now we have a motherboard and a CPU. And the next step, we now have a motherboard, CPU, and then we put some RAM into it, and so on until we have a finished computer. But notice that at no point during this do we have a computer which can operate. There's nothing where we're actually going to basically have something we can give to a client to see how it's going. We're building it over time. We're giving it one step to the next. And that's what the incremental model is we look at these steps, these goals that we want to accomplish, and basically we build up to that goal. And we have these like almost mini projects to build it from this state to this state. So let's say state 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're building it from state 1 to try to get it to the beginning of state 2. Then we go from state 2, try to get to the beginning of state 3, and we move across like so. Now with the iterative model, we're building prototypes and we're adjusting it with new prototypes. This would be like if we built a car and we built a really, really bad version, maybe with like almost steel seats inside. So there's not even like padding on the inside. It's just this steel seat inside of this car. It's got a couple of wheels on it, and that's pretty much it. It's still a block too. We haven't even designed that part. But the next one, we actually start refining it a little bit. Maybe we add a little bit of a shape to it. So instead of this sort of blocky appearance, now we actually have a better part of the aerodynamics into it. We add, better wheels to it. We add better seating. And then the next part, we add the luxury features. Maybe we add something else, and so on and so on. But each of these products are all going to accomplish the tasks at hand, meaning that if we have this product right here, it should be able to do basically everything that the final product should be able to do. However, this product right here is going to be a worse version of that. It's going to be using cheaper parts. It's going to be where the design isn't fully implemented. Maybe some things are experimental on this. We're testing some things out. We're testing the wheels on this, for example. But we should still be able to operate it. We should still be able to show it to a client. If this is a software on each of these sides, this one we would never be able to show to a client until this portion here. We could maybe show it once it gets almost done, but definitely not in the beginning. While this one, right after we finish the first prototype, we should be able to show this to the client and say, this is where we're at right now. Come on, let's take a little test drive of it. Let me show you how this program works. Let me show you some of the little details of the program. And then the next time, maybe they're going to give feedback, and that'll go into our next iteration. We're going to make some adjustments and show it to them again and again and again. And that's the difference between incremental and iterative. It's an important difference. They sound a lot alike and they are very easy to confuse, but understanding that is important for some of the next steps.